I have many different type of headphones from many different brands. Mezi audio products become one of my favorite go-to dynamic drivers open back headphone. Hello everyone, welcome to Tabama Hi-Fi Review channel. Today I would like to share my long-term experience of using this Mezi Audio 105 server. This one is slotted between 105 AER and 109 Pro. This one retail for $499. I review 105 AER, one of the most enjoyable open back dynamic driver design, as well as I review 109 Pro for giving rich, refined resolution, everything that many can enjoy listening to their music. They have good transparency and revealing ability when you pair it right, either 105 AER or 109 Pro. So this 105 silver brings you best of both sides and combined effort to give you best balance out of top end and entry level offering. It still uses very same cellulose driver in this 105 silver, same as the 105 AER. Cap surroundings are made of walnut and middle area is made of plastic, and they have the fine tuning going on. Although it uses same drivers, but tuning and finer touches are totally different than 105 AER, especially resolution and that dynamic attack and engaging sound that this 105 silver offer is slightly enhances and more refined and revealing side of sound that this one will offer. 109 Pro is gonna be airy and smooth, extended highs and deep bass quality compared to the lower range that they offer in this open back dynamic driver design. So I tried this 105 silver starting on my desktop setup, using it with included USB-C DAC dongle, using it with my Mac Studio. Overall sound of that combination is rich and forgiving sound that I can listen to all day long. It may not suit for total monitoring purpose or anything like that, but it suits well if you are listening online streaming or watching YouTube or things that you can do online. It suits very well from those bright sounding, especially many YouTube's videos are super bright and loud. So that purpose totally suited. After that, I switched this 3.5 millimeter included headphone cable in this 105 silver to my Mac Studio headphone outlet in the back. So when I tried that, typical Mac Studio sound quality, clean, neutral, and transparent sound, right? It has a nice amount of power output and delivery that we can enjoy. But when it's come to higher range of frequencies, upper range can be a little too artificial, not accurate or natural kind of sound, especially when I'm using these type of open back design or studio monitor headphones. Those areas gonna be one of the weakest point of that Mac Studio parent, regardless of the brands of the headphone. So I tried that, right? They sound okay for monitoring my own voice or accuracy, or those areas are fine. Only when it comes to the music, those are the area that totally not enjoyable for me personally. So I switched it over to recently review Hi-Fi Audio IDSD GR2. It sounded natural, accurately redeliver mid-range quality to die for. Vocals and voices are among the best that I heard in that combination. Only thing that I'm missing in that setup is airiness, spaciousness, and dynamic attack. Although IDSD GR2 can put out over 1500 milliwatt of power output if you're using 4.4, but in this case I'm only using 3.5 jack, so it's gonna be a bit less, but this one is nowhere near hard driving, 42 ohm impedance and relatively easy to drive. More power or better the current you give, they sound their best. When I moved it here, I started using it with soon to be review X2O MT10 portable CD unit. So it has a headphone stage with I think 600 milliwatt of power output. It works great, beautifully, especially if I'm using tube buffer stage in there. So it sounded really nice. I was surprised how well these Meze Audio headphones work with tube gain stage or buffer stage or even tube headphone amps. They sound beautifully, and I was, wow, this is one of the nice combination. And then I switched it over to my reference X2O TA32, fully upgraded with Pavane Horizon tubes. It sounded probably the best, I mean one of the best in this price point that I heard. Open, spacious sound with rich tonality and organic feeling mid-range area. Human voices and vocals and mid-range sound quality and sound reproduction is among the best in this price point. Accuracy, listenability without being forward. Totally enjoying that combination with Eva Solo T10 digital transport. I went through all my playlists and thoroughly enjoyed my listening experience with this 105 Silver. So tracks such as this Chris Stapleton Tennessee Whiskey, right? The intro and all the musics are dynamically, vividly, and brightly recorded. Even those kind of music redeliver in engaging manner, well controlled and contained without giving me fatiguing experience listening to many music. Even when I tried AC/DC Back to Black or Highway to Hell, or I mean all the hard rock tracks or many tracks that I tried, totally enjoyable. After that, I tried with my Accuface E4000, this main amp included headphone stage. Accuface never really disclosed what kind of power output it can put out. So, but whenever I listen to it, I always impressed by how neutral, how transparent, and how quiet background that it can put out when I'm wearing any headphones. 105 Silver is exact same experience. This is like a totally studio quality kind of headphone stage in accuracy, transparency, bass quality, dynamic yet very well controlled, rich tonality in lower range of frequency, mid-ranges without being forward or flat, just right, accurately, naturally with high frequency extension. My slight problem with the headphone stage is upper mid-range to lower highs region, regardless of the type of the headphone, can be a little too neutral for my taste. That's about it. This Meze Audio 105 Silver, same experience. I kind of want slightly warmish tonality in upper mids to lower highs region. So those are the area totally shows and totally and honestly redelivered by this 105 Silver in my system. Many different headphones stages that I tried. Musically enjoyable, tonally accurate, and engaging music that it can put out and give you the best of both sides in sound quality and refinement, affordability, and quality of the component. The way that they build, the way that they design on these open back design, regardless of the price point, entry level, mid-range, or higher end range, they works wonderfully. Same experience like 105 AER. These pads are slightly softer than I would like. That's about it. Maybe contributing small head, loose wearing experience, but this one fits snugly, perfectly on my head. Totally enjoyable all day fatigue-free listening experience. Fitment can be hit or miss depending on your head. Weight is just about right, even though it uses metal frame, not too heavy. Another excellent design from Mezzi Audio. One of the most enjoyable open back design dynamic driver headphones that you can get under $500. Highlight of this 105 Silver is rich engaging sound with right timbre and accurate mid-range quality, good sound staging with nice and rich bass delivery with just right amount of high frequency extension. Smoothness and engaging is gonna be depending on pairing components. It can be overly smooth sound in some pairing. It can be totally revealing and neutral sound in some pairing. Refinement and listenability in long run, this Mezzi Audio 105 Silver is better for my taste, just right amount of width and depth that it can produce. Some may want slightly better bass attack. Even if you want to monitor, this can do it in right pairing. Like I mentioned before, as long as your amp is neutral and transparent with good driving power, 105 Silver will totally redeliver in most accurately possible, especially in middle range area of notes. Mid-range accuracy and musicality is to die for with this 105 Silver when you pair it right. So if you are shopping for any open back dynamic driver design in $500 to $600 price range, I can easily recommend you to try this 105 Silver. Totally wholeheartedly recommended, my friend. That is my experience that I like to share with you. Thank you for watching and happy listening.